What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Founder Academy. I am Mark, the FUT founder, and I want to do a kind of more of a quick episode today. It is 17 minutes, but really it's only about two games and a little bit of talking because I need your guys' help, actually. I need your help building the team out here. So I originally shot this as like a live comm. It was okay. It wasn't great. Like, you guys know I struggle with the live comm stuff, but unfortunately I had my iPad too close to the microphone, so it was picking up a lot of feedback and it was just not usable. So again, my luck with the live comm stuff has just not been good. So we'll try that again at some point. I promise. I know people like live comms, but it's just not my forte, I guess. But before we jump into all the stuff FIFA, if you guys could like the video down below, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Trying to grow things, trying to put out a little bit more content as FIFA rolls on here and the better cards are starting to come out. I'm starting to get a little bit more involved in the game, and I want to start playing a little bit more competitive FIFA, so we got to start rolling through some of these divisions here. So we're currently in Division 8. What you guys saw first here before we jumped into any of the games was just doing the daily winter whatever wild card SBCs here. So obviously you guys know that you're getting these tokens, and as you get the tokens you can use them, I believe, on Boxing Day, or as many people call it, the day after Christmas, because some countries don't celebrate Boxing Day. And you can go and get some regular, not regular, but like actually like cool packs. I think if you did one or two of them, which you probably have one because you got it for free, but it's pretty simple to do the SBCs. I think from what I've seen with some of the leaks, there's been a lot of leaks out in the community, but with some of the leaks it looks like you can get, like, I think it's 5 tokens gets you like a 125k pack or something like that. So if that's true, that would be awesome because we'd already be at that. So I think the top prize is like 15 tokens where you can get a 10 by 85 rated plus SBC. So that would be really awesome because you could just submit 15 of those and go out and get 5 or 10 85 plus rated players, right? And if there's anything good in packs, that would be awesome, right? That would be a really, really good prize, especially if you held on it to Team of the Season, right? Like, there's going to be some really high rated cards. Sorry, guys, trying to drink a lot. My throat has been really dry the last couple of days. I've kind of had a bit of a dry cough. And no, it's not coronavirus or Omicron or whatever it's called. Oh, God forbid. Yeah, wouldn't want that. We're actually going away for 2 weeks, so have to get a bunch of videos out, right? Want to actually like put out some content, but we're going to be away for 2 weeks, going back to Toronto to visit the girlfriend and spend some time with her and her family around the holidays. So I'm really looking forward to that, and don't want to get sick, so I'm trying to drink as much water as I can. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So what you guys are seeing here is some of the actual team stuff. You know, I didn't want to go into squad battles. That was obviously a mistake, but you know, the squad battle stuff is something that we're doing on the side as well. We're doing some of the silver things, some of the first own player objectives. I think there's 5 tokens you can do offline. I don't really feel like dealing with the online stuff just because people get really toxic with the golden goal things and whatnot. So I'd rather just get the easy low-hanging fruit ones. As you guys saw in my previous videos surrounding like my thoughts on icon swaps, I don't recommend doing like any of the super high rated ones. I'd rather just get for myself either Iker Casillas or Rio Ferdinand. We'll see what I end up doing. January 10th I think is when they do the changeover between the first 2 sets. So if I have 6 tokens, I'll probably just submit them for Iker Casillas, and if we're at 3 or 4, then I'll maybe hold on and do the second set of tokens as well, and then try to get one of like the mid-range players, maybe like a Rio Ferdinand or something like that. Anyway, this first guy that we ended up playing, like I said, it's just 2 games today. We did have the full thing, but you guys don't want to sit there listening to me talk over full gameplay. It's different if it's like live gameplay, but I edited this in a video. The first guy that we played, this is Division 8, mind you. I was still in shock. He had a very odd team. I think he had Erling Haaland in there, but it was like or who was in his team? He had a really odd team. It was just like, there was no chemistry. I think there were some links there that didn't even make any sense. He had like Morata, I believe. I think Haaland was in the second team that we play. But this first one was just bizarre. Like, the guy wasn't a great player, which doesn't shock me in Division 8. Like, he could have played a lot of FIFA and just been in Division 8. But if he played a lot of FIFA, you'd think that he'd have a better team than he did. at this stage of the game, because we're in December. There's a ton of ways to make to make coins to get cards, but maybe just doesn't understand the chemistry system. But overall, we were just kind of destroying them. It was really just one-sided. We actually, because I was doing this as a live comm, probably a little bit of nerves, and I actually missed quite a few chances. But, that's right there. That's his chemistry kicking into play. So I think that was the deal breaker for him. There you go. After 3 goals, he was pretty much gone. So unfortunate that we didn't get a full game, but if that would have continued on, it would have really been one-sided. It would have been an onslaught. So probably a good thing that Pabs7 decided to quit out, just because he's still in the building phase, and my team is obviously a lot more advanced than his at this stage. So unfortunately for Pabs, he didn't really stand a chance from a team composition standpoint, but that's okay. I don't blame anybody for quitting out. It doesn't help him build his team, but whatever, that's his decision. And then I realized after that game that we had changed the formation around. I did that on the web app, I think, a couple days ago, and I was dealing with some of the content on my phone or through the desktop app. I can't remember, but I must have forgotten to put player position change on N'Golo Kante's, because he was playing on 4 chem. He was a center forward playing in the middle of midfield. So unfortunately for Pabs, it didn't really make much of a difference. But we don't want to be playing against any higher rated teams with a 4 chem N'Golo Kante. It actually didn't take his stats down too much. It just didn't give him the boost, so it defeated the purpose of having the shadow on, as you guys can see here. So outside of that, I think they upgraded the Adidas cards, which I don't believe we have any in our club, nor do I want any. The only one that I actually did want was Paul Pogba, and he's not even part of it. He's like one of the poster boys for Adidas, and they didn't even put him in the promotion. So I thought that was really weird. Paul Pogba's Winter Wildcards card is actually a really cool card, but we'll come back to that in a sec. It's one of the options potentially we can look at in terms of upgrades. And then this is the second game that we went into. So this guy's got a little bit of a better team. He had Koundé in the back there. He had Haaland. He had N'Kanu. This guy wasn't a terrible player by any means. He was actually causing me a little bit of problems, but he was just very, very aggressive defensively. And against those guys, I have a much easier time, because those guys pull players out of position left and right. And as I've told you guys many times, that's the one thing you do not want to do. We ended up getting a penalty kick. However, I do bottle the penalty kick, as you guys can see there. Unfortunately for him, right off the corner, he didn't defend it very well. And of all people, Rafa Varane, who we ended up packing in, I think, one of those daily SBCs for the Winter Wildcards. It was like a gold pack where we got 1 rare, and we ended up getting Rafa Varane. And then he comes right downfield. This is one of those FIFA goals that was very, very annoying, because I tackled him, if you watch that back, about 3 times. I read it, he bounced off, and it was just those things that make FIFA very frustrating for people. I take it at this point in my life and in my gaming career, I guess you'd say, like, those things don't bother me, because I know to expect them in FIFA. But I've said many a time, if you're doing this for if you're playing this game competitively, it's got to be just mind-numbing, because literally we read him 3 times, the ball just bounced back to him, his players warped through mine, and then he ends up getting a shot which Allison smothers, but it bounces up and lands right to him, and his guy walks in and volleys it. I think that was the only, I don't even want to say chance, it was definitely the only shot, but not only a chance, but it was the only real opportunity that he had in like the first 30 minutes, really. Like, he didn't even come close. And then he was kind of doing some of this, which was, I thought the ball was going to bounce back to him again, which would have just made me irate. Because those are, I'm not even kidding you, those are the only 2 chances where he really got up the field. What he was doing was getting the ball with his left back, playing it inside, and then playing it out again, and then kind of doing those in and outs, and you try to send whoever his left winger was. I don't know if it was Christopher N'Kanu, or who it was, but he kept trying to force the ball to that guy, and he kept trying to run down the wing past my Trent Alexander-Arnold, which is where Arnold actually, funny enough, gets a little bit exposed. He doesn't really have that pace that Kyle Walker does, so eventually we'll go back to Kyle Walker. I just wanted to try that Trent out, because you guys saw in the last video, I just decided to get him because he was super cheap. He's a high-rated card. We had a bunch of fodder in the club, so I'm just like, might as well go get this guy. However, he does lack that pace. If you are going to use Trent Alexander-Arnold, he very good defender, but Really good passer. It's just the big thing is his pace. He doesn't have the pace to keep up with wingers, and you're starting to see these guys really come into the 90s, like 90 plus left and right back or left and right wingers all over the place. So you do not want to have a guy who's got 83 pace as your right back, because you're going to see what I saw, which was just the guys would pull away and Alexander-Arnold would be pulling and pulling and pulling from behind, and he just could never catch up to him. Even with, I think, a shadow that I have on him, he just never had that pace to really catch up properly. So definitely something to consider there. Just stick with Kyle Walker. He's like 10K or 15K or whatever he is, and he's worth every single penny. He is like the perfect right back, which he'll probably stay the best right back in the game until team of the year, and then eventually team of the season comes out. But yeah, you can essentially use him against anybody at this stage in FIFA. So that's it for the gameplay. This is going to be where I need your guys' help, though, because my team is at a point where I'm really happy with it. We have about 700K to play with, 715. If there's anybody higher in the club, if there's anybody over 715 that is somebody that you guys recommend me getting, I will sell off some stuff in the club. I could probably get up to about 1 million, 1.1 if I sold off a bunch of the stuff. We got a whole bunch of things on the transfer list. The options, I actually am going to put them in a poll. I'll post the poll here. It's actually a Twitter poll. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at @the_FUTFounder. I tweet a lot. Not a whole lot, but I try to be engaged. So if you guys ever message me anything, I always respond as much as I can. But I really want your guys' feedback. I'd like to know who you guys would like to see me get. So the first option that I'm going to put on the poll is Baby Eto'o. He's 1 million to 1.1. He hasn't really dropped. He's going to be out of pack soon once the prime comes in. I don't know if there is a fresh one, which is going to be the big deal breaker for me. That might be really annoying because it's going to take a little bit longer for me to find him. So that's a downside with him. The other downside is the price. Considering he's an 87 rated card, he's not super... he's not a great value for 1.1 million. There's a lot of really good options. However, I am a fan favorite of Eto'o. He's absolutely rapid. He's lean. He'll just translate really well. I know he'll be good. I don't know if he's worth 1.1 at this stage in FIFA, but that's where I need your guys' opinion. What do you want him to see? Do you want to see me pick him up? Because I would be definitely interested in trying him out. He's kind of my leading option right now. So that's option one. Option two is Gabriel Jesus, the freeze version. The pros with him is he's higher rated than Eto'o. He is actually probably a better card when you look at it. He's a little bit slower, however, it's not much slower, but his finishing, his shooting, his attacking positioning, his shot power are really awesome. His agility and his balance are incredible. This card looks great, and he's about half the price. However, he still is about 500 plus K, and the other thing with him that bothers me is, I know this sounds stupid, but a lot of people have got him for free because of the fact that they packed that 83 rated version that I packed a ton. I just didn't pack him on the day where there was that error. So like his price just plummeted through it. So I still feel like it's just too much money for this card. Like icons, I have a little bit more... it's easier for me to justify an icon because icons are icons. They don't really lose a lot of value. I just see this Gabriel Jesus dropping and dropping and dropping. I don't want the fire version or whatever this one's called just because he's way overpriced. He's like 900 to a million. I would rather do the freeze one anyway just because he's got better shooting. So that's option B. But I would like to know what you guys think about that one. And then option C will be Paul Pogba. That's putting Paul Pogba into the middle, moving Seedorf up, and then putting Puskas as a striker. Now, excuse me, I'm not super keen on the idea of using Puskas as a striker. I really like him as a cam. He gets up and down the field well. He's got great work rates. He doesn't get tired. And he's got that agility that I really need in a cam. I don't really want to use Seedorf as a cam. However, Paul Pogba is my favorite player in real life, so I would love to have this card. This is probably going to be the most usable Pogba during the whole year, unless he comes back and absolutely sets the world on fire, which I doubt. He's just been very flaky at United. We haven't really seen him reach his potential. He hasn't had a team of the year or team of the season even since he went to United, right? We haven't seen that kind of Paul Pogba from his Juventus days since coming to United. However, Ralph might be able to get a better better showing out of him. I'm praying as a United fan that that's the case. But I would be really interested in trying this card. He's dropped down to about 800 to 900k. I don't know what happened today, if it was those promo packs that came out, but there's an absolute ton of him on the market. They're all fresh and they're 800 something k. I would be open to trying that, so I would like to know what you guys think about that. But again, another card that I just expect to drop and drop and drop. The other options are Fernando Torres. This one is still way overpriced. He's almost 2 million, so I probably won't go with that one. Socrates is a 1.1 million coin card, 1 to 1.1. I think you can probably get him. However, his balance is absolutely atrocious. But Socrates is one of my favorite options, or my favorite players of all time. Him during the '82 World Cup was one of the best teams to never win a World Cup, and probably one of my favorite performances from a World Cup in history. I loved watching that Brazil team when I watched the old highlights and stuff from the old Brazilian games. They're absolutely incredible, and Socrates was the leader. So I really like him. He actually plays a lot better in game than his card stats show. However, again, he's going to absolutely plummet. Primes have only been out for about a week, so they're just going to go through the floor. Torres' mid is an option as well. We can take a look at that. He's going to be dirt cheap, but again, I expect the prime to just go through the floor as well real soon. So those are a couple options. On the pool, I'm going to keep it as Eto'o. I'm going to keep Gabriel Jesus, and I'm going to keep Paul Pogba, and then I'm going to put an other. If you guys vote other, please put in the comments section or tweet me back, or reply to the tweet with who your other option would be. Do you want to see Rooney? I'm not going to do the icon swaps to get him. He's way overvalued at that. Like, he's nowhere near worth that. He's 800. He'll probably drop down to about 5 or 6. So yeah, I'm not going to grind out 17-foot icon swap tokens. So I would be open to trying him if you guys wanted to try him. His card stats look great. However, for some reason, there's something that concerns me. I just don't feel like he'll be that great in game. But who knows? If you guys want to see me try him, I'm willing to try him. These are cards that I like to wait to get a fresh one. So I do want to ideally hold on to these guys for a little bit longer. So it's not like I want to swap out players here and there, because you also lose a ton on taxes. On top of that, so something to consider. This is a card that I'd really like to be my striker for a little while, at least until we see Team of the Year. Or do you want to see me wait until Team of the Year and see if I can afford one of the bigger cards? So those are the options, guys, but that is going to be the end of the video. Like I said, if you haven't already, please drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and until next time, guys, appreciate you sticking around, so take care. Peace.